The Emperor has been expecting you.
Technical difficulties, folks, but we are here. Hi everyone and welcome to One Six Figure Focus. You're very welcome to episode number 25 of the Hope Show, weekly live stream dedicated towards collecting, mostly 1/6 scale, but of course we talk about pop culture, movies, film, TV show, all that kind of stuff as well. So much so that I still cannot pronounce the word film correctly. Actually, that wasn't bad. I'm going to give myself credit there. All right, folks, let's bring in the panel. So we got Ian, aka in Silver Fox, we have Phil, The Empire Strikes, and we have Jose as well. Thank you very much for giving up your time to come in here and chat with us and chat with the chat about whatever's in collecting today. So how are you doing?
All good. Surviving a rainy, windy Scotland.
Yeah, we just call that
Just
Tuesday over here. It's just always raining.
Yeah.
You get a lot of rain as well, though, don't you?
Yeah. Probably
Yeah.
more so than Ireland.
I'd imagine so. You're probably further north as well. Would that be right? Or
Not as much as Wales.
no? Yeah. Yeah. What part of the world are you currently living in, Jose? You're not. I think you're West Coast, are you?
West Coast, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
kind of close to Disneyland. So I live in a city called Santa Ana, which is the kind of the heart of Orange County, which is kind of Southern
Right.
California. It's like in the middle between LA and San Diego.
Yeah, gotcha. That sounds fantastic. You had me at Disneyland. You're coming through really low, for some reason. I'm not sure it's the same issue as maybe the mic isn't selected, or remember, I think last week you turned it around or something like that and it was really, really clear. I'm going to quickly address the chat if you want to take a look at that, Jose. So massive thank you to anyone who is in here. Please let us know if the background music is too loud or anything like that. Right, so what we've got Tragedy Tales in here, channel member, thank you very much. We got Uncarded Review. Of course, we have Phil, The Empire Strikes again here. Well, it's just The Empire Strikes. Yeah, because I used to be The Empire Strikes again and I can't.
Yeah.
Every time I just got my head around The Empire Strikes again, because I used to call that The Empire Strikes Back, and then you changed it and then I have to relearn it again. But I'm a slow learner. What can I
I was
say?
hacked.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. You remember you saying that before. It's mad. It's this, I think Maz was hacked as well.
Yeah, it was.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks, man. We got Keith, Dublin's Devil, previously the artist previously known as the 6th Scale Padawan. We got Deadpool Red Suit. Does Catwoman play a part in tonight's show? We will be talking about her. Definitely, she's on the list. That 14 figures that are scheduled being the keyword, for release in November. Collector Joey put together a really, really simple, just one slide, which he's given me permission to use, so we're going to take a look at that. And yeah, she is in that, and I have that one on pre-order, so it will be interesting to talk about that. Talia Miles from Germany, of course we got Ian Mormon up the chat. Neederific, channel member, thank you very much for being here. Malika Mabane, thank you very much for being here as well. Ryan Smith, channel member. Ryan, I was recording my review for the Batman Begins 2.0 today. Yeah, I thought it was the worst figure of 2022 before I had it in hand, and now I know it was. It's bloody awful. But I have a plan for it. Ian knows it, and I'm banging on about it for a while. So we have X-Men Supreme. Dave, how are you doing? Thanks very much, channel member, for being here. Shane really loved the new Iron Man in the background and really liked the video. Thank you, really appreciate that. Thank you, I really appreciate that. That was one. Yeah, I'm kind of getting into finding my niche. I wasn't sure which approach to how I wanted to make review videos. I'm kind of getting there. Love the Mark III review, bro. Keep it up. Thank you, I do appreciate that. It was definitely worth the copyright strike. Although sometimes if you have a remix of a song, it doesn't come up as a copyright strike once it's not the original. But then again, sometimes 2 or 3 days later you get that copyright strike. So it's yeah. X-Men Supreme here. Again, Brick Artemis, thanks very much for joining us. And then Shiny. I think people in high humidity environments will find the new Catwoman most appealing. You know where the door is, man. You know where the door. It wouldn't be a live stream without Shiny. That review of the Iron Man was great. I do appreciate that, Brick. Thank you very much. I really like. I love editing videos. But I found the reviews daunting. But now I'm kind of getting where I want to be, or on the right track anyway. Right, really quickly, I'm gonna fly through some of these. So, hit 2,639 subscribers, getting closer and closer to that 3,000 giveaway. Again, thank you to Ancient Silverfox who's donated it. When we hit 3,000, all you got to do is be here, be in the live stream, and answer a question. Shout out to the members, massive. Again, nobody has to become a channel member. Nobody has to choose to put their hands in their pockets and choose to give you like $5 or $3 or whatever it is a month. No one has to do that. Okay, but the people that do, I do really appreciate. I appreciate anyone who's ever taken the time to watch any videos, like any videos, share the videos, subscribe to the channel, ask a question, answer a comment, any of that stuff, invite me on the live stream, vice versa. No one has to do it, but it is massively appreciated. It goes back into the channel, whether it's a new chair or new lights or a brand new display or new figures or whatever. So massively appreciate you. And of course, just because you have been a channel member, it doesn't mean you have to stay a channel member, but I do appreciate it. Jim the Correct Collector, we got Lancelot's Nerd Corner, Neelerific, Mugwump, we got Mike L, who's not with us today, I believe he's working. We got Payton23, Chuli, Bendu Windu, Ryan Smith, and of course the Tragedy Tales in the Commanders. We got the 6 Scale Gallery, X-Man Supreme, 12-inch Moose Stream, Philip the Fool, Keith the 6 Scale Padawan, who asked me to change this slide. I'm going to have to change this slide to Dublin's Devil, and I will do that. I apologise, Keith. Mark Mitchell, William Owens, Brandon Salad, The Empire Strikes. I need to change that back to Empire Strikes as well. There's 2 mistakes I saw. I'm letting the side down. Collecting Weekly and Boba Fettuccine. Now, just before I go on any further, I just wanted to break this up. Jose, you're up. A random movie recommendation, please.
Oh gosh. So there's this movie with Jake Gyllenhaal that I just saw. It just came out this year, I believe. It's a Guy Ritchie movie. It's called The Covenant. Have you guys heard of that movie?
You had me at Guy Ritchie, but I have not seen that.
I saw it this weekend. It's pretty good, man. It's a good watch.
I like Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, it's a good watch. So,
so Guy Ritchie used to be married to Madonna, I believe. I think that's right. It's in the back of my mind somewhere. Is that Snatch, Lock, Stock?
Yeah, that's the guy.
Oh man, Snatch and Lock, Stock. Do you like Dags?
Classic. Do you like Dags? Caravans.
Yeah. Dags. Do you like Dags? Like, what a character, man. Mickey, what a legend. Brilliant. So The Covenant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a movie about. I don't want to give it away, but basically it's during Afghanistan, and so something happens. A guy feels like there's a debt that needs to be paid, and so he goes on a rescue mission. So
okay, good stuff. What about yourself, Phil? Random movie recommendation, can be old, new, brand new.
I actually watched what's it called? The one with the puppets. Team America. I watched that yesterday for the first time ever. Oh my god, how they got away with that? I don't know.
Yeah, it's
hilarious.
I just love that line. I was like, why is everyone so fucking stupid? It just every time it gets me, or the puking scene. Just I don't know what it is. Man. It appeals to that silly 15-year-old boy. The 15-year-old Shane. I just think it's that's funny out. Go to Team America. So anyone in the chat who hasn't seen Team America, and Ian.
Oh, I'm struggling to think. I've been watching loads of stuff lately. I'll keep on because it's the last movie I watched. I'll keep on the Guy Ritchie theme. The Gentleman.
Oh, that's a good show. That is a good show.
Is that the Colin Farrell one?
Yeah, he's brilliant in it. Jesus, a great bit in that. Charlie Hunnam's character doesn't. This isn't a spoiler. It's just a funny bit. They have to find this this daughter of a really, really rich, wealthy family, and they find her. She's a drug addict, and she's hanging around with other drug addicts, and they're useless, and at one point, like Charlie Hunnam is a big guy, and he's all stylish, and he's got like a gun, and then there's the two huge brutes with him who are just they're basically going finding this girl to get back to her parents, like they've been hired, and one guy starts like giving him all this, like as if like, and this fella's a little skinny twerp, and he's half cut on heroin or something. He's giving him all this, and someone says to him, sit down before you hurt yourself, and he's like, I lift. And Charlie Hunnam was there, and he just goes, didn't even look at him, and just goes, you wouldn't lift a wheel of cheese, you cunt. Just the way he says it, absolutely breaks me up every time. Yeah. So good. Anyway, my random movie recommendation, I was telling that story so I could stall. Looper with Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Great sci-fi movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Anyone on the panel seen that one?
Yep.
Yes. Good stuff. Yeah, I really like that film. Good movie. All right, so new videos really quickly. So put this at the side there. Literally just did this before we came live there. Sorry, Keith. I will work on that. This is now live. Had a lot of fun making this video, and look, this is like the blueprint for a triple threat in my eyes. So if you want to check out what that Mark III is like, consider checking out the video. This is didn't enjoy doing this video too much, and this is an honest review, a very honest review. Well, all my reviews are honest, whether you like to think of it or not. But this is a particularly honest review. I only bought this for the body on it, but look, this is not live on the channel. It will be up in the next few days, and then this one, brand new partnership. Courtesy of Big Brothers Wonderland. That's Big Brothers Wonderland. Massive shout out to this brand new company that were kind enough to send me this for free. Look, this review will be popping up at some stage. All right, so it's probably the next few days. All right, this is what we're going to be on about. We're going to discuss new in out. We're going to take a look at coming soon, courtesy of that slide that Collector Joey put together. We're going to take a quick look at Morak. Just maybe touch on the fact that Prey is $395. I know we talked about it a few weeks ago, but we might actually just maybe have a look at that price. And then Figure of the Year 2023 nominations, and then we're going into Future Proof. Look, in my eyes, this hobby is about sustainability. Like, what steps do you put in place to ensure that you will be in the hobby next year or in 5 years time or 10 years time or whatever? So that should be a bit of fun. Right, so new in out. Anyone here want to chime in? Anyone pick something up this week or get rid of anything?
I had the Bad Batch Hunter turn up this week.
Good stuff. You arrived in this week, yeah?
Yeah. I missed last week's show, but the Mandalorian, Luke Skywalker, what a figure. That came in last weekend. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
We have a rare sighting. Sorry, we have KG the Collector here. This is a rare. Yeah, this is a rare. KG, it's great to see you. I'm saying see you. I know it's just your typing, but I did see you on. Did you pop in on LWO? Did I imagine?
He was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mario was asking him to take his shirt off. It was really, really awkward.
That sounds like a normal LWO episode to me, which is great. But KG. The last time I saw KG, he had that kind of like boyish look. Now he's man. He's a man now, man. He's hitting the gym. Yeah.
Is he promoted in Dune 2? Is he?
It could be. That's what it is, man. Maybe there's some there's a lot of scenes which he probably does his own stunts now. So KG, great to see you. Thanks very much for chiming in. Shiny, just complimented the puking scene from Team America is what happens to INART figures when you put Star Ace batteries in them. probably. Good stuff. All right, excellent. Right, so it was Hunter you picked up. What about yourself, Jose?
I got nothing right now. On the way, though, I have the Blitzway Kurt Cobain. On the way, should be here
nice.
by Wednesday, I believe. It's tracking right now. I've been keeping an eye on it, so I think Wednesday it might be here. So, fingers crossed.
Which one is that again? Sorry.
The Kurt Cobain
Oh, the Blitzway. Oh God, good
Yeah.
stuff. Good stuff. And what about yourself, Ian?
Yeah, I've got quite a big week, so I opted to go for buying back the Hoth Luke and Hoth Han from Sideshow. They arrive tomorrow, and the reason I got those because I've bought 2 of the Tauntauns from Inbox Studios. They ship end of this year, and then the big one is I've got a rather large order of Modu cases coming this week, so a massive shout out to Brian and his team at Moducase. Special people. I get a great service from them, and they're great guys. So I know that he's going to be watching on the replay. So cheers, Brian.
Excellent stuff. The so like, do you have shares in the company now at this stage, Ian? Yeah. Is it the type of thing that you don't like to look back and see how much money you've spent with them, or?
Yeah, I did do that today, and it's a few pennies. So
yeah, don't.
But I'm looking forward to it because what was really good about Brian and the team is actually added and changed the order 3 times.
Oh, wow.
And there was very little delay to that. Any delay was caused by me. So my delivery time's been really good, and it's the communication from the guys. They're just fantastic with me. So I've got a lot of these units coming. So at the weekend, I'm going to rip all of this down because what I'm doing now.
I don't envy you, not even one.
No, I might actually talk about that later because it actually links into your agenda.
That's perfect. Yeah, it's funny. Like when I'm pretty sure, like when you said you got to tear that down, I was like, I don't envy you. I'm pretty sure I saw Jose go, oh. Just the thought of taking everything out, and it's just I got a bit tired. But no, that's perfect. Yeah, it's sure. Look, you're doing it, I presume, because again, it ties in with the future-proofing yourself. And I don't even know if you can future-proof yourself in this hobby, but you can definitely take steps to avoid just basically. What's the phrase these days? I can't remember what it is. I think someone said it at one stage. Right. So, So what do we actually? What did I get in? Well, the obvious one. I got the Mark III, and it is stunning. This is actually it's displayed with all the clean parts, and I currently then have it displayed with the battle damage parts. But I think I'm going to swap the clean parts on for this one because I have the battle damage Mark VI next to it. Look, I gotta say this one is this is an absolute win. I think this is a contender for figure of the year. What can I say? It's die cast. They fixed the scaling on it. It's a bit taller. Improved paint apps, improved articulation, a bunch of swap out clean and battle damage parts. There's the light up parts. I don't actually have it lit up there. It actually looks like the fusion reactor is lit up there, but I think it's just the light reflecting off it. The base is. How irritating, Ian, is that base? Oh my god, that
was brutal to fit. So
it's like, if for those who don't know, the bottom part, the flat part that says Iron Man on it, is one piece, and then the Ironmonger, it's like the diorama piece. You have to clip it in, and it's like the friction fit parts. It's like they're not all lined up properly. Maybe in the molding process, they're slightly off, and you really have to, you can hear it squeaking with the friction. And you put in one part, and the other part pops up, and it was a bit irritating. I was getting flashes of putting on the INART Joker heads underneath the collar, but it is beautiful, totally worth it. Very little nitpicks on this one. I think this is a contender for figure of the year. Okay, this image. So I was on a troop in a place called Ballinasloe in Ireland 2 weeks ago, and it was at a library. It's like a library Comic-Con, so there was like a few other troopers and stuff like that. There was someone dressed as Kylo Ren, Fennec Shand, another trooper from, I can't remember the trooper. The trooper was based on a trooper from the game. There was a TIE fighter pilot, and there was an amazing Chewbacca. But we were walking up the street, as you do, and there was a photographer there, a local photographer who was working with the library, and just said, here, see that the parking meter there, go over there and pretend like you're just getting a ticket. So he did that. he takes the photo, he sends it on to the point of contact with the 501st Legion in Ireland. They post it on the 501st Irish Legion's Instagram. And then Phil was saying, oh, this is going viral. And then I got it sent to me today that it was picked up from the 501st, the actual international 501st Instagram, the one for global. So if you go on to 501st, the official 501st Instagram, it's up there, like sort of stormtrooper making sure he's not getting a ticket, like. So yeah, I thought that was going to be an interesting thing this week. But I do love the armor.
Very cool.
Phil,
flex.
Yeah, it's I literally just found out that like an hour or two ago, but it's yeah, no, definitely was delighted with that one. Phil, so that was a bargain you spied there during the week.
I know.
I'd say it was tempting.
I mean, I don't know if is it just me, or is the forum for the 501st really difficult to navigate?
It's kind of, I think it's based in software from 1980.
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell it's really old, and
Windows 95 looks good compared to it.
I've been trying to get in touch with the Welsh garrison, and I've heard nothing back at the moment because just for some assistance with the website and how do I show the interest, what do I start or where do I start? But I've heard nothing back at this stage. But it's a work in progress at the moment. I'm trying.
Yeah, that's strange to it because like I did find that once I, you know, what I had to do, register on say like the 501st Ireland website, and then get your point of contact, and then from there, because I was fast tracked it because I already had an armor, get your photos taken, like the official photos they want, and then send them on to your local GML, and then he sends them on to like the official like international Legion one. So and then it doesn't help that the forums are kind of a bit, they're not that user friendly really, like, but yeah, you'll get there and then get used to it, like. But we got Yomo, thanks very much for being here. We got Costa Pop Culture Living Room, thank you very much for being here, good to see you as always. The Costa case man himself, some of those cases are just like look amazing, very well professionally finished. Dave said he tried future proofing himself back in April and already outgrown the future proofing. Yeah, that is a thing. Money Mendez saying hello to Overseas and Jose. Good stuff. All right, and I think we're just kind of catching up with that there. Good stuff. All right, so I wanted to show this. Shout out to collector Joey who put this together, and he said I could use it. So I'm just going to take us all off the screen for the time being. I just like this because it's really simple. So if you look at the keyword scheduled, so that means they're meant to come out in November. You know, so Joey is saying that these are scheduled. He's getting this information from Sideshow, as in it's not guaranteed to come out. That's why he used the word scheduled. So these may come out or may not come out in November, because I'd imagine a lot of these inevitably, because we've been in this a while, we know that a lot of this stuff gets delayed. I would say that just random shooting from the hip here, I'd say more than half of these will not actually be released in November. What do you think? If you had to give an over/under, we've given an estimate out of the 14 here, how many of these will actually be released in November? Now, of course, again, just to be clear, Joey said they're scheduled to be released, so he's absolutely right in saying that. But yeah, what you think, Ian? How many will actually see the light of day, be released in November?
Only in November.
Just over 2 weeks left.
Yeah, I'd say three. I'd go Dead Strange, Morbius, and Cobb Vanth.
Dead Strange, Morbius, and Cobb Vanth. Yeah, my wallet be safe on that one. So yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. I like that. Yeah, I like the way you're thinking. What about yourself, Phil? How many do you think you're actually going to see the light of day in November?
What I think, or what I would like to see in November, because I've got the Vader.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Well, Hot Toys like to release horror figures at Christmas time, so Morbius and Dead Strange, that's December, and Scarlet Witch, that's December.
Could be.
I think the Green Goblin, Wolverine, and if there's any movement with the INART Batman, then the Batman. But I'm convinced that Hot Toys and INART are waiting to see who releases that first.
Yeah, I actually think about 6 of these will be released. Just off the top of my head, I don't think they're all gonna be released. But I think about 6 of them will be released. Say maybe Kenobi and the Batman, possibly. That Wolverine can't be too far behind. I don't know exactly which specific ones, but I think around 6. Like I could definitely see Kenobi and Batman release, and actually the first 3 there.
Yeah.
And then a few other random ones. Surely isn't that Spider-Man 2 one? Isn't the Miles already out? Weren't they quick releases, quick turnarounds?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually can't see the Hobgoblin or Cobb Vanth or that Wanda being released in November. I can't see them happen. But yeah, just off the top of my head, I think maybe 6. But Jose, how many do you reckon will actually?
Well, I hope it's not the 6 that I have on order on this list. 'Cause
Yeah,
I have 6. I have 6 on order from this list. I have Vader. I have Toby. I have Hobo Goblin, Scarlet Witch, Obi-Wan, and Catwoman. So that's 6 of them. So I hope it's not those ones. Because then my wallet will hurt for sure, especially because if it's a 2-week window. Yeah, no way. I couldn't do that. So I hope not. Honestly, I think that we're looking. You were saying about 50%. About so how many of these? 14. So out of 6, yeah, I'd say about 6 figures. I just hope it's not mine.
Like I think a lot of them will probably be released before the end of the year, because there's always that last flurry. But in November is only like the 30 days in November, not including today's 17 days, like just over 2 weeks. I reckon around 6, but what do I know? It's just a complete guess. But all right. So the fun bit, I'll go first. Like I've got the Vader Kenobi on pre-order, the Batman on pre-order. I don't have the Wolverine on pre-order. It's definitely going to happen. That's 3. I have several Gilgameshes, 22 Morbius. No, I have Vader, Batman. I really did like that movie, and I like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. That's going to happen, especially the leather coat as well. How often does that happen? So those first 3 are going to happen. Yeah, the Toby, that's 4. The Hobgoblin's 5, and the Catwoman 6. Yeah, I'm in the same boat as Jose there. So yeah, I would find it very hard to believe out of those 6 that I won't have at least 2 of them in hand for the end of the year. You know what I mean? Like I reckon that Catwoman will be released this year, maybe not November, and I think the Kenobi and the Batman. Yeah, I don't think all 6 of them that I just named will be released, but yeah, they're the ones I'm keen on. And the thing is, they're like those first 3, that Vader, that Batman, that Wolverine. I'd imagine they're going to move a lot of them.
And Catwoman would have been a nice release yesterday. It was her 41st birthday for Anne Hathaway. So it would have been a nice release. They're Hot Toys, but they don't ever line up things the way that they're supposed to, right?
No.
What was it? The Pennywise comes out in December, so
Pennywise at Christmas. That's what I always go back to. Anytime like I hear someone, and like like a lot of the stream. I think there's a stream for every day. I was thinking about this today. Like there's a stream for nearly every day of the week that I listen to. Like because I can't listen to people in the States in real time. Live, because I'm in bed. But say if I wake up on a Wednesday, I'll always listen to Collecting Weekly. If I wake up on a Thursday, I'll listen to the Wednesday show, The Wolfpack. If on a Friday, I'll listen to Copper Drop, and so on. There's always something but I listen to a lot of people making really valid points, and then I go, that's a valid point. That's probably why it won't happen, because Hot Toys logic. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think they just use the Force. Use the Force, Howard. Release Morbius.
Yeah, looking at that Gilgamesh, it's like, where's the rest of the Eternals, or at least Icarus, right? Like that would have made more sense, but.
Yeah, we've more of a chance of getting those Vespa kids, the H&M kids from Book of Boba Fett. I don't think anyone wants them either. But I don't think people are crying out for the Eternals either. Like I don't think they'd sell.
No.
And that's Icarus. No shade on the people who like the comic books or anything. I'm not versed in it, but
Yeah, Icarus
Yeah.
would have been nice though, at least to match with Thena, right? Because they had that fight and all that, and so he was kind of a prominent character. So, you know,
yeah, that's right. Ian, so can I guess actually? Do you mind if I guess? Can I go through these and see which ones you have in pre-order? Because I think that'd be more fun.
Okay.
The Vader's coming home, yeah?
No.
No,
Oh.
interesting.
I know that.
Whoa.
That will surprise you.
Fell at the first hurdle. Okay, right.
I
So we got
was-
that wrong. Go on.
I might pick it
Right.
up, but
Right.
I only want 2 Vaders in my collection. I've got the original No Way Home and in the Return of the Jedi's on pre-order.
Did you just say
But I
Vader from No Way Home? Get this guy's.
Hey, sorry,
I know a lot of
jeez.
people were in that. I'm pretty sure Vader wasn't.
Oh
in
my
that.
god.
take his nerd card.
Return of the Jedi.
That's my favorite part of today. So I don't feel so bad for getting
No,
the first
no
one wrong.
Nobody clipped
But,
that.
yeah. Do you remember that bit in No Way Home when Vader there was another. He just walked right out. He walked right into the
Oh,
kitchen and started throwing the granny around the place and trashing the
Question.
place. Like, with the
Question.
force.
Isn't there the Lego Darth Vader in No Way Home at the end in Peter's apartment?
This is
Yes.
not. Don't be giving him a technicality.
Actually, well
You're
done.
making fun of Ian now. Get with the program. Read the room.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Sorry, Ian. So yeah, I know the Wolverine's coming home
Yes.
for you.
Yep.
I would. Is Toby coming home?
Yes.
The Hobgoblin is coming home.
Yes.
The Batman. I think you're getting the Batman.
Nope.
Damn it. I suck at this game. And I don't know, is there anything else you're actually keen on? The Catwoman. Did I say the Catwoman already?
Nope.
Dead Strange. He's getting Dead Strange.
Is he? No, he's not.
Nope.
Go on, you tell us out of this
nice.
list. These
So-
14.
Wolverine, Morbius, Toby, Hobo Goblin, and Catwoman.
Oh wow.
Right.
Morbius.
So the Bubblegum. You're getting Morbius. Interesting. Is that a comic book thing?
I've got Ghost Riders with Blade. I want to do Midnight Suns.
Yeah, Midnight Suns. Mm-hmm.
I gotcha. It makes sense. And Phil, what's the story? You're hardly safe.
No, I've got the Vader and Obi-Wan. And
Good stuff.
I don't know, that Dead Strange is going to be one hell of a centerpiece. But I just don't have a center to put the piece in.
Yeah, because it's covered in figures. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. Cobb Vanth, I haven't really dipped into the Book of Boba Fett line yet, but I really want the Fennec. I want Boba Fett. I don't know. It's out of that lot, I've ordered 2. So I've got the Vader and the Obi-Wan.
Good stuff. Yeah, so there's 6 for Jose, 6 for me, 2 for you, and Ian, was it 4 or 5?
2, 3, 5.
5. Good stuff. Yeah, you know what? That's kind of an unusual number for me as well. That's a lot of clusters in the one spot. Like, I mean, Vader's absolutely a triple threat. The Batman's a triple threat. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is a triple threat. And that particular movie, that's my favorite, like, movie with, well, I like Logan too, but I really like Days of Future Past. You know what I mean? And then the Hobgoblin Catwoman, that's a lot of quality banger figures, like in the one few in I suppose the fun few months or time period that they're due to drop. But yeah, we'll move on from that anyway. Thanks very much. So what was the next thing we're going to go on to here? Let me check what was the next thing we were going to go on to. So we'll take a look at Morak. So I imagine this is going to be quick enough, but we'll take a quick look at Morak. Why not? So this was the only thing that really happened this week, wasn't it? There was no other releases or announcements.
Slow week.
Quite enough. Yeah.
Yep.
Quite enough. But look, we'll take a look at it. So this is Morak from the Ahsoka TV show. Thanks very much to the 45 people currently watching live or anyone watching on the replay. Very much appreciated. So just getting this from the Sideshow's site. I'm going to just switch over this really quickly. According to Sideshow's, $265, and it is due to release October 2024 to March 2025. You're talking Q4 of next year or Q1 of the year after. All right, we'll go back and take a look at Morak. Is anyone actually keen on this?
It looks really good, but he's a bag of gas. That's the point.
Again, just like Ian.
Cheers.
I'm surprised. I would have preferred the Huang maybe to come out, but at the moment I'm trying.
Pretty sure you're pronouncing that. Did you just say Huang?
Yes.
That's funny. Yeah.
But I'm trying to avoid this line at the moment. But this it does look really good. To be fair, it does look really good.
Yeah.
Aesthetically, it's really nice with the weathering.
Yeah.
So it looks really cool. But as you guys said, he was a bag of gas.
So was that is that an LED lightsaber?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
so-
I'd
so
imagine
we know-
they're all
we know
going to
how
be
they
LED
turn out.
going forward.
We know how that turned out with the Inquisitor. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
do you think that's an
Yeah.
issue because it's dual bladed? Do you think it'll be better with a single blade?
Wasn't the no, I don't think so. I think
No.
whatever year,
Is it,
if you've
is
ever
it-
put, go on.
Go on. I was going to
If
say,
you've
is it one light in both sides, or are there two separate lights?
I don't know, but if you know, like if you've ever loaded the batteries into one of those arms for the current
Yeah,
sabers
yeah.
that aren't USB, the part closest to the hilt glows the brightest, and then it gradually dims and looks
Yeah.
plasticky towards the end. Whereas the CCFLs, they glow right to the end. Now I know at the very, very end, it is a bit dark because it's just the way that the tubes are made, but because it's so bright consistently throughout the whole tube, your eye is drawn completely to that. You don't you're not ever fixating on the end. I just think there's no comparison, to be honest. But I do get the argument. CCFLs are very, very expensive. I've heard stories about them melting. You have to, of course, manage the wires and stuff like that. But when I look back, though, they just looked like lightsabers as opposed to pieces of plastic. But look, I think it's a step in the right direction. All these USB powered lightsabers, it's a step in the right direction, but they need to take bigger steps. I'm clearly out on this, no matter how much Jose tries to convince me that I need everything.
No, I won't convince you on this one. But if you go back to that Ahsoka the White tease, question for you: if they make this, if you're gonna make this Ahsoka the White, and it's clearly a better likeness to Rosario than the one we have already, would you pick this one up because of the show? Is it the triple threat thing qualify under that or no?
No, because I didn't love the show. Okay, this is a good question because I call it like I see it. Like I'm not gonna because I get a figure and the likeness is off, I'm gonna convince myself and tell everyone, that it's great. It's like the Doc Ock. I voted with my wallet on the Doc Ock because of the sum of its parts. It's a fantastic looking piece, but that head sculpt isn't it. But I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, that head sculpt is an absolute banger. It's not. It was a miss. With the Ahsoka, when I look back, it's a fantastic representation of Ahsoka, not necessarily a representation of Rosario Dawson. So I think I wouldn't go buying Ahsoka the White if the head sculpt is phenomenal, just for the head sculpt. I actually prefer that version, that outfit, and the darker kind of the greyish cloak. It reminds me a bit kind of like how Clone Wars ended. And also that version of Ahsoka is what made me fall in love with the character. That one episode of Mandalorian is, I've said it time and time again, it's one of my favourite pieces of Star Wars media. Everything about it. So I'm not going to give up on that yet. What I'd be more than likely to do, I'd rather invest in a custom head sculpt if there was one out there that I could afford. Do you mean that I thought was a better likeness? So no, I don't. People are saying you can take off the, like, let's say, okay, people are saying a lot of things. Let's speculate that they do Ahsoka the White and the head sculpt is an absolute banger, shrink ray, 10 out of 10. Like, you can just click that off and put it on that. Then you have to think, okay, fine, you're going to spend all that money just for head sculpt. I know people do it every day, right? Then you're going to be like, right, will the pegs actually fit? And then sometimes, even though it's the same character and it should be technically the same height, sometimes there's these little differences where the head looks too big or too small. Like, it doesn't belong. It happens. So at the moment, I think I'd be happy enough with that. Also, I think her Lekus were longer in this show than they were in Mandalorian.
Yes.
So I bought that figure on the strength of the character, how she was portrayed in that particular episode of Mandalorian. I'm really happy with it. The head sculpt could definitely look more like Ahsoka, Rosario Dawson. But I think maybe I'd be more than likely to just invest in a separate head sculpt. Long-winded answer, but there we are.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
I think Jackson, who does the capes, he made one, right?
I liked that. I liked that, and I commented going, are these for sale? Because I know that's who's making my Batman Begins.
Batman Begins. Mm-hmm.
And it was reasonably priced. I was kind of going,
yeah,
why is this so cheap? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of going, I don't know. I'm probably expecting something along, like, the prototype I'm really happy with, and I'd imagine it will be better than the Hot Toys version. God, like, that review today was rough. Like, I didn't want to do it. Like, it was just like, but I bought it, and, you know, they gave it to me for a very, very reasonable price, because I told them, this is crashing in China. No one wants this figure. I don't even want this figure. I only want the body from it. You know what I mean? I literally told them that, and there was a kind of a, you know, negotiation back and forth, and I was like, right, yeah, I'll do that review for this price, whatever. But I told him, I'm going to trash this figure. I'm going to, like, say the same thing that I was said last year with a forehead in hand. Yeah, and that's kind of how it went. I enjoyed the Iron Man and Peacemaker videos a lot more to make. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not in on this. I think, yeah, it looks cool, but I'm just zero interest. Ian?
Yeah, same as everybody. It does. It looks really cool, but it's not for me. I've not bought anything from this line yet because I'm holding off to see what else is coming out. And again, my funds have been going on all these different cases that are coming. So I've just got to prioritise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a lot. I'm hearing a lot of conversations like that, particularly about this guy, even if from people who are big into the Ahsoka show. I think, like, Hot Toys did their job. They replicated what they saw on the screen, especially with that rust and all the weathering and stuff like that. That's what I see a lot of people talk about this week, and I kudos on their the proportion and the paint applications, but it's just not a must see for me. It's not a must get for me. So X-Men Supreme, the tips of the CCFL still bother me though. I wish it wasn't an issue, but do you have one in hand? Like, I know that's like such a, like, do you have one in hand? But like, I don't think you necessarily need a figure in hand to tell if it's good or bad. Like, you can definitely see more positive and negative if you do have it in hand. But yeah, you'd be surprised because your eye is naturally drawn to the brightest part of a photograph or the brightest part of a scene. It's just the way we're built. So when you walk into a room, it instantly gets drawn towards the saber. And I thought it would bother me more, but it actually doesn't. But yeah. What would bother me if I had just a piece of plastic in the hand with a little glowy light on the end of it, to be honest. But each their own. So, Phil, I'm guessing you're not getting this.
No, it's a nice looking, really nice looking figure, but like Ian, I haven't touched on any of these yet. No.
This is just really funny.
Yeah, I know. I meant that.
I already just, because that's, yeah. I'm telling you, this Mike is not here, but he's giving Shiny a run for his money. You know, so yeah. But yeah, so we're going to move on from really quickly. This figure, where do we got this now? Predator. So I'll just quickly. Now we're not gonna dive in too much on this because we spoke about this before. But $395. I'm in on this, and I know it is expensive, but I'm going to listen to you talk about it first before we go on to the next bit. Ian, I know that you're not in on this one, and you're like, no, that is too expensive. What do you think?
Yeah, I loved the movie. I love Predator, and it looks cool. But I would only want one Predator, and that's the original one. I really hope they would do a 2.0 on that. I don't want to buy backwards on that. I personally think it's a little bit too steep. I know it's 14 and a half inches tall, etc., but I think 395's a little bit steep. I think 350 might have been the right point for this.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't bother me because I'm not going to buy it. So
yeah, so you don't have to worry about it basically, which is good.
Yeah.
Jose, I think you are in on this, or did I just imagine that?
No, I was telling you I'm a maybe on this one. I'm not sure. Like Ian, I would most likely want the original if they ever did the original, The Jungle Hunter 2.0. If they did that, that would be amazing. That's most likely, like, because I really like this one and I love the movie too, but I'm not sure I want this specific Predator. So it's a maybe for now. I haven't pre-ordered. It's more of a wait and see right now.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to share this for just a bit of a comparison. So if you look at this now, this price here is €212.38. That's approximately $220. So now the City Hunter Predator is quite old, but I guess the one from Predator 2, I'm not sure when this came out, but I'm guessing this was over 10 years ago. But you're talking twice the price, just under twice the price. Like, that is, and I know other ones. I think a few years back there was one released for $270. So yeah, it is quite expensive. Yeah, it is on the pricey side. I think I suppose case like if you're how much do you want it, I suppose. Phil, what do you reckon?
It's a triple threat for me, but for some reason I just haven't hit that pre-order button.
395 reasons, I'd say.
could well be. Could well be. I mean, obviously we're going to discuss future-proofing and what have you later on, so it's probably a little to do with that in terms of space and where does it fit in. And I've been praying, pardon the pun, for them to release a Predator, and they have, but for some reason I just haven't hit that pre-order yet.
Also, I won't, pardon the pun. I loved every bit of that.
It's a never say never figure. It's
yeah.
I'm convincing myself not to get it for some reason, but yeah.
So we have Rita or in the chat. Hello everyone. Hello to you. Hello to you.
Hello.
Great stuff. Copped me a new inbox Scar Predator today on eBay for $265. That's pretty good.
I actually saw, I was at a horror convention a few months ago, and he had a few figures there, older ones, and he had a Predator, and I asked him how much. I don't remember what specific Predator, but it was an older one for sure. And I asked him how much, and he was like 400, and then I was like, no, and he's like 350, and I was like, no, and then he's like 300, take it right now, and I was like, and I ended up not getting it, but I was thinking about it.
Yeah. Eddie makes a good point there. I PO'd this to show support to Hot Toys for what I want, but I do think it's pricey. I think Eddie, were you like kind of hoping that you do this, if there's enough support for this, they might go back and do a 2.0, 3.0, whatever of a Jungle Hunter? That makes sense. And to be honest, if I had one, if I wanted the best Predator movie is the first one in my opinion. The second one is this one, Prey. Again, I prefer to Predator 2 or all the AVP. I rewatched the Alien vs Predator movies at the weekend, and it's like.
What about Predators?
I'm gonna work my way through them all. I've seen them all. I think I saw a lot of them in the cinema, but I was watching Alien vs Predator, and for the first half an hour, I was like, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, hour, I was like, this isn't bad. And the last time I saw it was in the cinema when it first came out. That must have been 20 years ago. And I remember thinking to myself, when I walked out of the cinema, even though I was like basically a kid, I was kind of going, nah, I wasn't good, because I was still like Alien and Aliens. And I was watching this going, this is not bad. But then I realized exactly what happened. She becomes besties with the Predator, and I thought, oh, God, you're joking me. Come on. You just basically, any bit of fear that the Predator had just like dissipated it. Now they're like fist bumping each other and running off into the wilderness like to go hunting aliens. I just thought that was stupid, like, you know, but yeah. So yeah, I agree with Eddie. I will be picking this up, and I will be hoping that the 2.0 Jungle Hunter, because that's the one I want. If I had a choice between this or a brand new 2.0 or 3.0 Jungle Hunter, I would pick the Jungle Hunter. But I really liked this, and I also really liked the movie. If I didn't like the movie, this would be in the same pile as Morak. I wouldn't be interested. But yeah, so it is pricey, 100%. I'm not going to deny that. So Phil is possibly, he just kind of wants a push. Ian's out, and Jose, you're out, but you sound like you could be convinced.
Maybe I may be convinced. I might need a force push as well, you know.
Yeah, you never know. It could be one of those reviews just seal the deal there, but
yeah.
I'll get the NECA. It's cheaper.
The NECA's cool.
Yeah, the NECA is supposed to be pretty cool as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at this point in time, we've got we got figure of the year nominations 2023. So I'll just share this. All right. Okay. So I'll just first of all copy the link, and I'm going to put this into the chat again. Vote for figure of the year 2023. Now it's a nominating more than anything. Like, it's just I want to get an idea of where people are at, what people are thinking. So I posted that there, and I might actually just pin that in the chat. I can't pin from here, which is absolutely ridiculous, but it's there, and I'll show you where we're at so far. So, there's so much sarcasm in this, but I'm going to show it anyway. So this is, why is this not sharing? Sorry, amateur hour here. There we go. Okay. Right. So the way this works on Mentimeter, the words that are like Cad Bane seems to be a bit bigger than the rest of them because more people actually voted for Cad Bane. So this is moving very quick. So we got the Peacemaker, a lot. We got Cad Bane, the Prank Villain. This is really funny. Batch 1. Star Ace, Starlight, which is, I'm guessing Shiny wrote that, or Mike L. The Mark III, King Shark. So the INART Joker's in there as well. Battle Damage Savings, that's quite funny. Asmus, Gandalf Corpse, no idea what that is. But, oh, is this the one that looks like he's dead?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Black Panther. So look, you gotta, there's a few things there that you'd assume, not assume, but you would think would be there. I'd imagine, Peacemaker would have been there, Cad Bane would have been there, Mark III is there, Mando Luke is there. I'm surprised INART Gandalf is there. Yeah, Mando Luke's there a few times as well. Yeah, so that's where we're at the moment. So if you want to cast your vote, then I can gather it up, and then we can just maybe put a short list together and see maybe vote some other day then or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's where we're at with that. Okay, so that brings us to future proof. Right, this brings us to future proof. So what we're trying to do is, it's kind of impossible really. It's an impossible task really. But what we're going to be discussing is just most hobbies, or a lot of things, are just about kind of sustainability and staying in them. Like, I know if I enjoy something, like I want to kind of enjoy that for longer and longer. So like whether it's like, I know, hiking or something like that, I want to look after myself and eat right and train right so I can continue to do that for a longer term. Businesses want to be sustainable, and collecting's kind of like that as well. You want your hobbies to be sustainable to carry you through the future. So there's things that we all do. I would hope we all do them, to whether it's managing your funds or managing your space or being a bit more disciplined or whatever, in order to keep us active in the hobby and keep us engaged with the hobby. So that's kind of like the idea for this particular topic. But just anyone want to chime in instead of just like going through the panel one by one? Just maybe just anyone at all?
For me, Shane, so it's obviously a hot topic for me because I've got this next batch of Moji cases coming. So I've been thinking about how to display within the space that I've got. So then I started to think about infrastructure and think about the mistakes I made when I was early doors collecting, where you're just focusing on the figure, not the infrastructure. And when I say infrastructure, I mean the display, a case, shelf, whatever. So even with this first batch of Moji cases I felt I made a couple of mistakes, and I've managed to rectify it with the new batch. So this is a 698 with a half shelf. So I've got 11. So I've got 13 cases coming, and 11 of those are this. So I'm stripping this wall down, and on the
13
bottom
cases
shelf,
arriving.
yeah, this week.
Mr.
Yeah,
Moji
I know.
case, huh?
I know. Cheers, Brian.
Share prices went up today, I'd say.
So I am not sponsored by Moji Case, so just to get that out there. So
He has to
these
say that.
cases, these cases are all going along. So there'll be 8 along this wall. The TV behind me in my collection room, that's going, and there's 3 there, and then I've got some coming on this wall. And then
Sorry, this is really funny.
these-
Ian.
That's $1 billion.
That's $1 billion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That is good. That is good. Sorry,
Hey.
Ian, go on.
Pop, that's a lot of swinging the handbag down the docks, I can tell you.
Hey, come on, it's a family show.
So
But you know what's funny? When you voice noted me the other day, you were walking the dogs, you said you were under a bridge.
yeah,
I was like, that doesn't sound sketch at all. What are you doing under a bridge? I'm walking the dog, alright.
oh jeez, that's brilliant. So yeah, so these some of these 6-110s are going. The movie room I've got next door that I'm working on, they're going there. So pretty much, you know, hopefully come the weekend or early next week, I'll have behind me some cases. So that's the infrastructure for me that I'm thinking about. So obviously there's an element of an end game. So I've then been thinking about what line, because I collect quite a few lines, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and general movie icon figures. So something's got to give, because I've got quite a lot of figures, so I can't, you know, keep continuing down a certain route. So there's certain lines that I've really just put a stop on. So like the Batman that we talked about earlier, I'm not getting that, because I feel quite comfortable where I'm going on that. So
Keith was just saying there, Ian will have to put out a room tour when it's all installed. Now this is an opportunity for us, myself and you, Ian, to work together and say that you would love to do that if Keith would actually man up and come on an episode of Visions. Fellow 501st member, like, been at him for ages. He said, I'm not a YouTuber. I was like, come on, you don't have to.
Come on,
just
Keith.
sit there and answer a few questions. Come on, Keith. Come on,
He's giving me enough shit for the 501st. Come on, Keith.
Yeah, exactly. You pretty much enabled poor Phil. Like he was minding his own business.
Exactly.
Didn't want to join the Empire, you know. But yeah, you
right.
look what you did.
So I tell you what, I'll make a deal, Keith. You come on, and I'll do 2 room tours.
There you go. So Keith, we'll wait, and you can I can hear him typing a quippy response. But yeah. So you've 13 on the way, man. You have to assemble. You have to take all that apart. Man.
Well, it's just how you build them together. So it's not really that. It's probably taking the figures out. It's going to take more time. So it will not be too bad. So I'll build up the cases in the other room first, and then I'll start to dismantle that. And probably, you know, lose a bit of patience in the process. So, again, the module cases, I find them really easy to build. So, and so.
Yeah. Well, you probably built about 1 million of them now, so you'd want to find them easier, like, you know. Yeah, you can probably build them with your eyes closed now. I'm telling you, Keaton, one day we'll get you. One day we'll get you. Yeah. Also, you know what? I just feel he deserves a dig. It says Dublin's Devil. He's living in Carlow. It's not even Dublin. I'm just saying that. Yeah. It'd be like someone having their name the Aberdeen Angel or something, but they're living in, I don't know, Edinburgh or something. All right. So, like in terms of, so that's the space issue. Like, but say, is there anything else you do? Like, it's not all space is massive. Like space, money, even like the time to unbox and you know, like pose things up and manage the collection so it doesn't deteriorate, clean and all that kind of stuff. Like, so what other things do you do in terms of like managing the collection, like to make sure that you're here next year and the year after and so on? Like?
And so I see this particularly in this room and the movie room. It's decoration as well as a hobby, right? So it complements the room. So that I look at it at that point of view.
Sorry about that.
What did I miss?
Not sure.
I know. I just want to respond to Kate really quickly. And I came here for the positivity.
Are you gonna bark all day, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite?
I put that on. I uploaded that earlier on just for him. Right. So sorry to cut you off again.
No, so I see it as, complementing the room, particularly in the movie room. It's part of that. It's the big feature. So for me, the next steps when I get it to a relative place, I've had some custom dioramas made that I'll show off more on a room tour. So I'll be looking more at setting scenes within the cases. So I really, there's things like Empire Strikes Back. With the Tauntauns coming, I'll get a custom diorama made for one or two cases. So these are the things that will be my next step. So it's my advice to some people is, I've heard some people say, like a module case or some other case, I could get a figure for that. And I used to think like that, but that's when I started to think about the infrastructure. So I'd rather, like what I'm doing just now, I'm not pre-ordering a lot at the moment, and I'm just thinking about the overall display. So for me in the future going forward, I think it will be more scene building. I want to do that. Actually on, I think Robert Meyer Burnett was on Mafia's channel last week, and he talked about that, and that's exactly where my head's at.
Yeah, I think I heard him. He was, I don't know, it was last week or the week before, but he was saying like that's how he thinks the next evolution, because if you've been collecting for like, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and you've got to a stage where like you're not going to rush and buy, you're not going to go out and rush out and buy the latest 2.0, 3.0. Like sometimes you will because it's significantly better, but a lot of times like you might just skip it. Like Mark 6 is my favorite Iron Man suit. It's not the most iconic, but it is my favorite. I prefer the design, the triangular arc reactor. I'm not going to go off on a tangent about it because I talk about it enough. That's it there. So I don't necessarily need the new one though. I may still get it because of the gantry. The gantry is really, really pulling me in, like, and it's calling to me. But I may go, you know what? That figure's good enough. I don't need to upgrade. But if you're at a stage where you've been collecting for 10, 15, 20 years, and you've got a lot of it, let's say 99%, 95% of the key characters that you want, but you still want to engage in the hobby, and you don't want to keep chasing the 2.0, the 3.0, the 7.0, whatever it is, you're right, like maybe it is that, like what you're saying, focus in on your diorama, your scenes and stuff like that, some of the jazzing pieces or other custom pieces, or make stuff yourself, whatever, just to create that scene. That's I suppose environmental display, like that's pretty cool. So Yeah. What about yourself, Jose? Like, how do you like? You've been in it a while as well. So
Yeah.
how do you stay in the game?
What's tricky, right? Managing. Yeah, there's a lot of things you got to manage, right? Pre-order list. How many figures are you pre-ordering? Do you have a spreadsheet? Do you have a system? Do you have a way to know? What the hardest thing is when they do that onslaught at the end of the year and they hit you with all those figures because they're trying to meet the end of the year, and so
Yeah.
they hit you out all those figures. So are you planning
I know
ahead?
exactly what you're talking about.
The Lord tells me he can get me out of this mess, but he's pretty sure you're fucked.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel about Marco. You know?
Marco.
Marco, I got that in pre-order. Yeah, I'm going after that one. I'm like, no, you're in trouble, man. You're in a lot of trouble. I hope he's watching on the replay. Hope I get a private message going, yeah, I heard what you said about me. But, sorry. Continue on, Jose.
No, yeah, no. It's you have to consider all these different factors, right? What so if you have a spreadsheet, do you have a timetable? Okay, these figures are set to be for this time. And then do you just do a separate bank account? Do you do payment plans? There's all things that I feel like many other collectors have talked about, so I don't want to reiterate. But basically, are you doing that? And are you doing it effectively? Is it a system that works for you? That's the primary thing that I would instill on new collectors, is like, make sure that you have a system that works for you. I'm not saying that my system works or Shane's system or whoever's system is the one for you, but definitely consider all those factors. And then consider lines. What lines are you collecting? Are you on a focus? Not to pun or pun intended. Is there a focus you have? Is there a focus that you have, and stick to it? As Shane, you've said, I don't do prequels, I don't do characters that don't fit the 3. So it's like, you have to be focused and don't go out of bounds. If you say, I'm only collecting DC, I'm only collecting Marvel, then stick to it. And it's hard.
And it's funny, like, if it's like, I know the whole rules are meant to be broken, but like, if you break your rule every few weeks, you're going to end up in the hole, like, and I mean, that triple threat rule, or some of the stuff I'll outline later on, they're more like guidelines, and if I follow those 90% of the time, I think I have it under control. Like, it's like I use the analogy of someone who eats healthy 6 days a week. They get 8 hours sleep 6 nights a week. They train 5 or 6 days a week. They eat salad and drink loads of water and take their vitamins and meditate or whatever. And they basically live well and do everything you're supposed to be doing for 6 days a week. And on the 7th day, they're allowed a few pints and some chocolate and some pizza. And if you're doing the good stuff 6 days a week, chances are you're going to healthy and you're going to be fit and whatever. Yeah. And that's what I feel about the rules we all set in place for ourselves. If you have a system and you follow your system, you can enjoy the hobby longer. But as soon as you start breaking your rules left, right, and center, you're going to end up with that credit card bill. Those invoices come, like, but, yeah.
And then consider
Jose,
one last thing, and then also sustainability of your figures. One thing I would, instead of thinking about, this new release or this new thing that got announced, maybe also reinvest in your current collection, right? And then make sure that, if it's a brand new cape for your Batman, or a brand new this or brand new that, so that way you can still slightly improve what you already have, but not so much buy new things, right? So you can improve on your current collection and not so much spend on new things just because it's like the hot item of the week.
That's a great point. Sometimes, like I don't tend to get swept up in the FOMO. I know a lot of people do get swept up in the FOMO and the hype. And sometimes it's kind of like, if I like it, I'll get swept up in the FOMO. For probably the most excited I was about figure was that Bane. When the prototype went up, I was buzzing about that, man. And that was like, the hype was real, but that was like, I was swimming in that direction anyway. So it was just like, you caught the wave, It's I had a point there, and bloody known ocean what it was, so it probably wasn't that important. It was going somewhere. But what were we talking about just before that?
Well, I was just mentioning how like you can add to your current collection instead of investing, buying
that's
buying
great.
new things.
In those times, instead of getting swept up in the FOMO, you're right. Whether it's that custom cape or custom cowl or CCFLs, I did that for a while when there was a few months there where I was like, I think I'm okay here, and I got a few fusion reactors and a few CCFLs, and like that Mando Luke is a beautiful figure, and you put a CCFL in his hand, it just elevates it so much more. Like, it's already a banger figure, but it just gives that extra. I just love looking at it. Just love looking at it. But Phil, what about yourself? Like, you're very disciplined, and like, even you saw 2 out of the 14 that list there. Like, it's like that's good going, having that. Like, you seem to be like, you know what you like, you know what you can afford, you know what you're pulling the trigger on, and you seem to be very good at resisting. So
yeah,
it's good.
I haven't always been like that. I used to collect Black Series, and for anyone who's collected or knows anything about Black Series, they release in waves, and that's what I used to do. The wave would come out, and I would PO the lot. Mm-hmm. But obviously, there's a massive cost difference. I mean, for a wave, you're talking 100, 120 pounds, whereas for one of these, you're talking 150 upwards. So when I picked up my first Hot Toys figure, it was the original Chrome Mando, and I was blown away. And I fell into that trap of the Black Series where, oh my God, there's a Mando wave banging on over every single line, every figure from that line. Then I wanted to go backwards with the original trilogies. So then I was ordering original trilogy stuff. But I think you learn to mature in this hobby. So it was getting to the stage where I was like,
none of us. We're not. No. Wrong crowd, man. Wrong crowd.
I definitely think my collecting has matured compared to what I was doing with Black Series. Black Series, I was ordering anything that dropped, whether I liked it or not. Whereas now,
that's a great point.
That's
a great point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do that now. I mean, as tempted as I am for some of the Ahsoka figures, I'm not doing it. Not. I haven't got the space for it. I am considering floating shelves like you've got. Behave, Jose. I am considering floating shelves, but now Ian's put that freaking diorama thought in my head, and I'm potentially going down another route. But that's down the road. I mean, yeah, you've got it because
Ian's like the emperor. Like, he just kind of like works away in you for a while, and the next thing, you decapitate Dooku, and he's like, oh, I didn't know nothing.
Yeah,
do it.
Definitely.
Do it.
Do it.
But you can't collect everything. I mean,
no.
I'm at the stage now where, I mean, don't get me wrong, if I had the space, I would probably still be the foolish collector ordering it, PO and everything. But you can't. You just can't. No.
I think it's like, even like a lot of people, like I'd imagine on the panel and chat, like there was a time where, I collected that's 3 3/4 inch Power of the Force figures, and I got to a stage where I was like, okay, what's the end game here? Because at the time, like, I was like 15, 16, I was still leaving them on the cards, and I was like, right, I'm actually not going to take these out and play with them. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just wasn't going to do that. And I was like, am I going to display them, like put them all up on one wall? I was like, right, I was off to college, and I was like, well, I can't really do that. Like, what's the end game here? Do I need like this 3rd or 4th tier character, or this character that that's in one scene as an extra or whatever? It's like, what do I really want? Like, and that's what I like about Hot Toys as well. I can just select key characters, and it doesn't necessarily mean like I can't get companion pieces. I can, like, but it really have to be like 2 together that I like both of them individually, but together they just look that much better. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I still don't need the entire line, and I'll never be that. I never have been that type of Hot Toys collector. I never will be that Hot Toys collector. And they're collections I admire from the far. That, like, say Justin's collection. If you look at his collection, it's a massive 3-dimensional movie poster. It looks amazing. Like, and it's it's great. Like, you know, I imagine it takes a lot of time and effort to put those dioramas together, and you know, put them all posed up and stuff like that, and it looks great. But I never want to have that many figures. You know, I'd rather just have, like, you know, individual characters that, you know, like the triple threats and stuff like that.
I just want to say Keith makes a valid point there with the
No, he
TW.
does not.
Sorry, Keith.
Yeah.
But 100%. I was buying, obviously, like a lot of us were buying from TW, and you were getting potentially, in some cases, 2 figures for the price of one somewhere else through TW. And a lot of us invested a lot of cash in TW. And that's definitely made me rethink the way that I order as well now, because I was just, it's 120 on TW for this figure, for that figure, it's half the price somewhere else. And with obviously what's been going on with them lately, and yes, it's definitely changed my mindset, and no doubt it's changed Keith's and probably Ian's, because I haven't managed to get everything back. I've got some of my money back, but I haven't managed to get everything back, and I'm probably not the only collector in that boat. That's definitely changed my mindset on ordering,
like,
because
do you think you will get the rest of the money back, or do you think
it's awkward at the moment. I'm in conversations with, because I switched bank accounts about 12 months ago. I've still got both bank accounts open, but obviously I've been ordering figures that were from my old bank account, and I've ordered figures with my new bank account. And then TW throwing in the, here's your refund, but it's a voucher. So it's really complicated things. So I'm trying to work things out in my bank at the moment. 2 banks.
Yeah. I'm glad I stopped with them back in January.
Wise choice. Should have listened to you.
Yeah, it was January. Yeah. Well, like, it's like I bought up them for a long time as well, and dodged a bullet for a long time. But after the messing around with that INART Joker, I was like, no. So I got out, and got the refund with that, and there was 2 figures I had fully paid off, and I just said, right, I'm just gonna let them roll the dice. One of them is the Ahsoka, and the other one, there's still one there, and I haven't ordered off them for, I'd say, 18 months, 2 years nearly. It was there for age. It was that Batman. So yeah, we'll wait and see. Like, I'm kind of a realist as well. Like, I think I nearly have to write it off in my head. Like, but yeah. One day I will be on a TV show, Hoarders, and they will start cleaning out my house, and they'll find overpacked display cases and boxes, no other furniture chairs. Oh, that's funny. So in terms of, like, what I do myself, I just put this together earlier on. I was asked a question on the collector tour on Evil Sneakers channel, and there was a few little pieces, some normal things that I would have routinely said, like, this is my system, and there was 1 or 2 other things I added in. I was like, yeah, I do that, and it might be worth mentioning. So what I've got is these are my kind of like 4 cornerstones. Like, these are typically these are things that I use to ensure my sustainability in the hobby, to ensure that I'm here in a year's time, to ensure that I'm here in 5 years time or 10 years time. Now, I know, like, you know, if we're getting into the existential things, you know, stuff like no one's guaranteed tomorrow, and I get that, but in terms of, like, if I am, you know, alive in 10, 20, 30, 40 years and stuff like that, and for as long as I want to collect, I want to try and make sure that I'm not burning out and, you know, getting into a hole of debt and stuff like that. So the first one on the top left, these 4 cornerstones, is the triple threat. So again, I've explained this multiple times in the channel. Like, I have to love the character, love the source material, and love that version of the character. So an easy way to describe it is that review that I put up today of the Mark III. So love the character Iron Man, love the source material, 2008. Man, it's the one that kickstarted it all. Fantastic movie. I can still put it on now and still love it. Holds up very well, and I love that version because the Mark III is a beautiful suit. It's that real, like, it's a great color code with that kind of, you know, that hot rod red and the gold, more traditional color of Iron Man. It's still a guy in a suit, and I prefer it over the nanotech, even though the nanotech are cool, but it's just it's an iconic suit. So triple threat. So typically most of the figures in my collection are triple threat. There are some exceptions, but in general, that's one way I go, right, how I filter through figures that I think I like, or figures that look really cool, to separate, okay, what will I actually put money down for and what's just kind of like something I have to admire on a review or through someone else's collection. The second thing, the second cornerstone, so I'm moving anti-clock or clockwise here. So we got 10 years. Will you like it in 10 years? Like, if you ever like on a knife edge or something, you're like, I'm not sure about this. Like Morak, perfect example. So even if someone is a diehard Ahsoka fan and they absolutely love the show, maybe try that with a figure like Morocco. Will I love this in 10 years time? I know that people go, but you only live once, like what's the point in buying it now? You're not supposed to keep things for 10 years. Okay, fair enough, but it's a good kind of a filter, a good kind of a question to ask you to see if you're actually going to put money down on something. I'm not expecting people to even myself, to buy something and then maybe I don't keep it for 10 years, but there's definitely figures in my collection that I will have in 10 years time, I would imagine. Like, I mean, that Mark 6 or that diecast Robocop, or the Terminator figures, like the INART Joker. I mean, you're after spending 1,000 on it, bloody well hope it's here in 10 years time or falls to pieces or whatever. So again, I'm not saying just because I'm asking myself that question am I guaranteed to hold on to the figure for 10 years time, but I think that's a good way of, will you like this in 10 years time? It definitely filters out a lot of stuff that it just looks cool. That's my point. Or will you like it in 5 years time, whatever. Then the third one then, actually I'm going to go down actually to the bottom left, the display. If I'm considering buying something, I need to know where I'm going to put it, right? Because I think a lot of people maybe buy vehicles, and there's a difference between like looking at the measurements on Sideshow and imagining what you think how big that is. Get the measuring tape out, get the dimensions, go to the place where you want to actually display it and measure it out and see if it actually fits. Because I've seen people get stung before. They're like, oh right, this was in I thought it was like 21 centimeters. It was actually 21 inches. It does not fit in the space provided. So if I can't display, I simply do not pay. That Batman 89 Jazz Inc. Batwing, I ogled that for the longest time. Where the hell am I going to put that? I don't have space for that. So I'm not kidding myself. And the last one then, the deals. Like anything, we talked about space a lot, but in terms of money, you're only 2 weeks away or a month away from a paycheck and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, things aren't getting cheaper. You got to pay your rent, you got to pay your mortgage, you got to pay your bills, whatever it is. Searching for those deals, and more often than not, there's still things. Last year people were saying that all the deals and the 50% off and the buy one get one free and buy one get one half off or whatever were going to be done last year. They're not done. Sideshow doing 30% off stuff. We've never seen that before, I don't think, on decent stuff. There's free shipping deals. We haven't even hit the Black Friday deals yet, and then there's New Year's Eve. So I think just watching out for those deals. Maybe don't necessarily need to pre-order things. I just lock in things that I really want, and even some things I really want, I just still put on the long finger and go, right, we'll see if that will drop down. If I'm wrong, maybe I miss out, but I'm never, are you ever in fear of missing out? I'm never in fear of missing out. You can always get stuff like.
Finding it more so now as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many different places you can find it. If it's, waitlisted on Sideshow, I'm sure there's another place that you could find it, a secure place, right? That you can trust or that other people can vouch for, that you can get, that you can get it. So
I feel like I need to get that clip from, is it Wedding Crashers? When Isla Fisher, she's really intense and she's saying to Vince Vaughn's character, I'll find you.
Yes.
Wedding
Crashers.
Yeah, it's a great one. But that's pretty much my 2 cents on that. But anyone else, anything else to add before we wrap up?
Maintenance of your figures. Again, another thing is that make sure that you're making sure that they, you pose them and you left them on a pose that you love, but make sure you check on them every so often. Make sure that there's not something, a bend that may be harming the figure or the suit. If it's a Spider-Man, You know, maybe change the pose every so often so the crease isn't as bad and it can relax and go back to normal. So be checking on the figures. Again, if you inserted those little batteries, sometimes they leak on the Ironmans. Not a lot of people do that because obviously they die out, but take them out. You know, and that's a pain in the butt to do so, but definitely do that because they can leak and that can be a huge issue for you.
Oh yeah, don't leave the batteries in anything. No, you're
So
right.
definitely,
Great point.
definitely make sure you're maintaining. And then if it's a pleather outfit, make sure you're checking on it every so often. Use 303 spray if you have some, or some other alternative to make sure that the figure is maintaining, you know, its form. Because a lot of these figures are made with pleather, unfortunately. But if you take care of it and you're taking an eye on it, and your conditions are level, like humidity, or you have some sort of temperature-controlled room, make sure that's something you're regularly checking. The Catwoman, to kind of go on the actual topic. The Catwoman, I had the Catwoman, the original 1.0, and she started peeling, and that's the only figure I've ever had issues with. So I live in Southern California. I don't necessarily have a lot of issues with like that, but she just started peeling one day out of nowhere. And so I had 303 and I noticed it right away. So I started putting on it and I feel like it slowed it down, and she didn't peel anymore after the fact, but she had some peeling. And I made that, when I ended up selling her when they announced the 2.0, and I made that clear to the buyer, and they knew, and they're like, yeah, I'm aware. It doesn't matter. I was like, okay. So I just hope that the new one, it's most likely pleather, but hopefully it's a better material. But again,
I have a bad feeling about it.
Yeah,
I have it on pre-order, but I have a bad feeling about it. Like, first of all, I don't think there's any chance that they're going to give us anything else for the hair than what we previously got. I think probably the paint applications are probably going to be a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I don't think the body is going to be improved, and I don't think the suit is going to... I think it could be like a Batman Begins First Night Out 2.0 type job. It could be... I've took the gamble. I put the pre-order down because on the strength of the character, but I hope I'm pleasantly surprised.
So I can tell you that based on the prototype, compared to the 1.0, it was a lot more accurate. The zipper was more accurate. The lines on it was more accurate. So it looked better than the 1.0. But I don't know anything about whether they're going to update the body or the likeness or anything else, or the hair, any of that. But in terms of accurate, it was a lot more than the 1.0.
Good stuff. All right, folks. Well, I'm going to call it a day there. Going to call it a night. Thank you very much to everyone who's watching now live or watching the replay, or anyone's taken any time to like the video or share the video or subscribe to the channel or become a channel member or whatever. Massive shout out to all the troopers of command. I really do appreciate it. A massive thank you to all the guests as well. So unless anyone else has anything to add, I'm going to hit the outro. We good to go?
Good. Cheers, everyone.
Later, guys.
See you, folks.
Thanks, guys.
See you.